Jay, that's strangely close to Daniel Jones from the Giants. Daniel, is that you? Beat the Chiefs. Show me. If the Broncos and Russell Wilson can show me that they can beat the Chiefs, then I will start believing.
The crowd up. And so are this defense, and Kansas City won't snap the ball again. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
David Montgomery on the Lions, former Bear, gonna make this his revenge game for sure. David Montgomery gets the touchdown that ices the game. No! And there's a flag. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. Snap. Hold. Kick.
Denver wins! Denver wins! Let's go!
They open. No!
What happened? Oh shit.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the only football podcast tonight. We're going to be talking NFC East predictions. Kyle and I are finally getting into our division predictions talk. The football season is just mere weeks away, so we're going to be getting into the Super Bowl winning division, and that is the NFC East. We're also going to be talking about Will Levis is out for the season. It's Cam Ward time. We're going to be talking a little bit about that, and of course, we're going to end it off with the Chives with Kyle. Let's get it. America is football.
America is football. Football is America. If you don't like it, you can kiss your candy ass for the moment in time. I don't give a damn. Oh my God.
No.
You loved it.
30 to 27. Chiefs win. Chiefs win 30 to 20.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the only football podcast tonight.
Yay, let's go.
We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks from football.
6 weeks.
We did it.
We did it, guys. We did it. We had fun in the sun, but we're so close.
It seems like just yesterday we were like, well, that's it. The season's over. And
so much for that.
Yet it felt like it's been so long.
Yeah.
Like the off season's one of the weirdest times of the year because it's like, it always feels like it went by so fast, but it feels like it was forever at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at this year and I think for a lot of teams, there's a lot to be excited about.
Yep. And
for other teams, it's like, I'm done being excited. You're going to have to show me something. and
facts, though. That's facts.
And of course, like the Bears, they've won the offseason 3 years in a row, right?
Off-season champs, baby. 3-peat. We did it. We did
off-season champs. So, like, I'm excited to talk about that a little later. Just like the temperature of the fan bases that either A, are super excited and it really does feel like there's a window of opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then the teams that maybe have that same excitement because their overall roster is pretty solid, mm-hmm. but the fans are just like wired to know not to get excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be a fun talk, but we're going to actually kick it off with the news that we all saw today, and that is Will Levis mm-hmm. out for the 2025 season. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, this seems planned.
Oh, okay.
I know Will Levis is under contract through the 2026 season. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what to make of this because I don't know if he like recently just got hurt.
Yeah.
But the
Well, I
timing,
think it was a lingering injury from last season is what I read.
and that's why it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't this have been like the offseason or the day you were eliminated from the playoffs? You should have been having surgery the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are. I mean, a little over a month from real football, the Titans are opening up the season against the Broncos in 6 weeks or so. And the backup quarterback, who was their first round draft pick last year, is now saying that he's not even going to be playing this year. And I think a lot of people are like, who cares? Cam Ward's the quarterback. I don't view it that way because he was a first round draft pick 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Second round.
Well, wasn't he picked with the first pick in the second round?
I can't remember. I just remember him being like literally crying or whatever in the green room. Remember when he was like,
"Oh, right,
well,
right.
Levis, he might be that first rounder," and then he had to wait like the entire day.
I think he was picked very, very early in the second round. I think it was the very first pick. But
I'll double check.
Yeah. Thank you. But like for the Titans as a franchise, and I'm surprised more teams don't do this when they can't hit on a quarterback. It's like, why not draft multiple quarterbacks and just be like, fuck it. We're just going to draft a bunch of talented quarterbacks and we're going to see which one sticks. And all the shit people are giving Cleveland, I think Cleveland's one of the more low-key exciting teams to watch this year because they did what we do when we're playing Madden in real life. Like they drafted Gabriel Davis.
Yep.
They drafted Shedeur Sanders. They brought back Joe Flacco. They also have another quarterback on the roster that I can't think of. And they're just like, we're going to let these guys duel it out and see who pulls away. I mean, the job belongs to nobody. And the Titans should have been in that same situation with Will Levis and Cam Ward. Iron sharpens iron. Competition makes a player better. When you know your job's not safe, you prepare differently. You practice differently. And now basically I know everyone's probably thinking, well, Cam Ward already had the keys. Maybe, but now you've officially given him the keys and there is no parent expecting you to check in. Like it is, you are on your own. And I just feel like for a team that used a very high draft pick just 2 years ago, this is not great news for the Titans. And all I'll say about this is the fact that he didn't get that surgery right after tells me, and I tweeted this, it feels like when a quarterback doesn't run the 40-yard dash or doesn't throw at their pro day when they're a prospect. And it's like, let me not do anything to further hurt my stock. I'm up for a second contract next year. And let me just, kind of ride the safety net of being like, well, I didn't play very well because I had the shoulder injury. Then I had to get the surgery and I was out that whole year and try to get a new team to take a chance on him. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, and just to give some background real quick, and actually before I do that, Ginger, shout out Ginger, shout out Edub, y'all are in the chat. That is right there. Shout out to our boys in the chat. Ginger's been a member for 10 months. You guys can see it on the comment there. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is
10 months.
This is gonna be, I know, 10 months. That's a while. That's a while.
But he's really been a member for like 4 years.
100%, 100%. Like he's been here since the very beginning. So Ginger, we appreciate all the love, and we appreciate you guys being here. Now, some background on Levis here. 33rd overall pick. So the second pick in the second round, because I think that was the year the Dolphins had given up their first round. I don't know, something had happened that year. It was
the
weird.
Trey Lance trade.
Something like that. I think it had to do something with the draft or the trade.
I think it had to do with was it the Sean Payton trade?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, no. It was the Falcons. They lost it for tampering, right?
Was it the Falcons? I thought it was the Dolphins with one of them. Regardless.
Yeah, I thought that Falcons tampered for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think it was something like that for sure. It was a weird year for sure because there was only 31 picks in the first round. So Levis picked 33rd overall. And then again, second pick in the second round. Now, as far as his injury goes, he had injured the AC joint in his throwing shoulder while diving for a first down in a September 30th game last year against the Dolphins, re-aggravated the injury in week 6 after missing those prior games. And then all that time up until the week 15 loss against the Bengals, that's when they pretty much were like, all right, dude, you're done. That's when I guess he had sat. He's gone through OTAs. He was going through camp this offseason so far, trying to compete for that starting job over Cam Ward. And then he decides. Now it's interesting too that you said this seems planned because it kind of does. It almost seems like Will Levis is not only looking to do this for his long-term health, but also he kind of can read the signs, right? Like the Titans were more than likely going with Cam Ward as their starter. Like it almost seemed like a for sure thing given where Cam was drafted. First quarterback off the board, first pick off the board, all that. And it just seems like Will Levis is kind of like, okay, I know what I can do. I just know I can't do it with his shoulder. So if the Titans are indeed going to give this guy the starting job, I'm going to take the surgery. And then regardless of what they do in his fourth year, whether they keep him, extend him, or just have him there for his fourth year under the rookie deal, he's basically going to treat this year as like a redshirt year in college. And then 2026 is going to be like, okay, where can I go and start for an NFL team? Because regardless of the NFL as a whole, there is always a team every year, every offseason that needs a guy who can come in and start for them, whether it be like I don't know, a team that is not going to be able to compete or is in one of those like transition years, or they need a solid backup. And Will Levis can fit the bill for both of those positions come 2026. So it is interesting that you said it seems planned, because when you kind of step into Will Levis's shoes, you're like, yeah, no, I think I would do this as well. I think I would take the surgery, recover for the year, and still have 2 seasons, well, more like a season and a quarter under my belt going into 2026. And, how did Cam Ward do this year? Can I continue to play at whatever level it is that I can play at? And if so, what team will have me? So it is interesting you said that. And now when I think about it, I'm like, not only does that make sense, but I would do the same thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard this, but Noah Fant was released by the Seattle Seahawks today.
I saw that too. I was going to bring that up and be like, your boy is done.
There was some people. That's all I had on the Will Levis thing. I didn't know if you had anything else.
No, nothing else. I mean, other than just like, it's basically the Cam Ward show from here on out. He's going to be the starter. I don't think there's really going to be any competition. I did want to ask before we move on to Noah Fant and other little points before we leave this Will Levis situation. With that being said, with Cam Ward being the starter, what do you think is going to be what do you think his season's going to be like? Because I haven't looked at their roster, their depth chart yet, but what do you think Cam Ward, rookie quarterback in the Titans organization, with the depth chart that he has, whether it's Calvin Ridley, whether it's that other receiver that they Bet the house on instead of AJ Brown. What do you think his first season is going to be like in Tennessee? Is it going to be tough? Is it going to be a good one? Is it going to be like a Caleb Williams, or is it going to be like a Jaden Bo Nix type of situation?
I think for Cam Ward, like, he's going to have flashes.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson also had flashes.
He did, yeah.
But I think Cam Ward's going to be able to do some of the little stuff right that Anthony Richardson can't.
Like a 7-yard flat.
Right. Throwing a flat, reading the defense.
Sorry, Ginger.
But I think for Cam Ward, he's going to, I mean, look, opening up the first game against Denver's defense on the road.
Rough.
That's as brutal as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to find out right away. And I hate to say it like that because Denver opened up last week against Seattle Seahawks. Mike McDonald's defensive coordinator from the Ravens became the head coach. And he had like a perfect record against rookie quarterbacks. And Bo Nix didn't throw a touchdown pass. It was a tough game. And that really wasn't the story of Bo Nix's year. So I don't want to say like we'll find out right away what he's made of because we may not, you know, like he may totally shit the bed, not throw a single touchdown pass, have less than 100 passing yards, and he may figure it out week 3, week 4. I mean, he's going to play the Rams after the Broncos game at home. That's a better matchup, but you still got Brendan Fisk and Jared Verse coming at you. That's going to be a really serious pass rush. So he's going to have 2, really tough weeks. At least the secondary is a little softer for the Rams. Then they got the Colts, and then that right there is their first division game. And
okay.
For the Colts, what are they gonna? Are they going with Anthony Richardson?
The Colts are probably going Anthony Richardson. I think
Daniel Jones.
Or Daniel Jones. Like, it's really going to be one of those two. And regardless of that fact, again, sorry, Ginger, I think the Tennessee Titans have a good shot.
Because the Titans don't have that bad of a schedule, to be honest. I mean, Rams, Colts, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders, Patriots, Colts, Chargers, Texans, Seahawks, Jaguars, Browns, Niners, Chiefs, Saints, Jaguars.
Yeah, they probably got like one of those middle of the pack type of schedules, to be honest.
I would say the worst in the league. I would say the easiest schedule I've seen so far.
I don't know.
Got a couple tough games in there, but they all look like that.
For sure.
It doesn't matter which team you grab. Look at their schedule. You're going to be like, shit. Everybody seems better than they are right now.
Facts. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. I was like, I feel like Cam Ward is going to show you those flashes of why he won the Heisman last year. I mean, Jaden Daniels last season came to the league fresh off a Heisman year. So Cam Ward, I think, is going to do the same. It's just, I got to look up the depth chart here on the Tennessee Titans, and I'm going to do that right now just to kind of give myself an idea as to what he's working with. Tony Pollard is running back, Ridley and Tyler Lockett at wide receiver, and Treylon Burks as your wide receiver 3, with Okonkwo as your tight end. I just don't know how much offensively they can do with that, no matter how good Cam Ward is. But I agree, like, he's going to have some flashes. I just think that they are going to lose a good amount of games. Don't get me wrong, their defense is good and they're going to be in games. I just think at the end of the day, the offense is not going to be enough to where the Tennessee Titans are winning 8 or 9 games at the end of the year.
Yeah, and like he's the number 1 overall pick. So the talent, I mean, as far as the talent, like, we know that the arm talent and the athleticism is there.
Yeah.
But the anticipation, the reading defenses, he ran an RPO offense in Miami. Like, is that what the Titans are going to be running?
Yeah.
And all of these things kind of factor in. And in college, you can get away with just like sheer athleticism.
Mhm.
In the NFL, everybody has a big arm and everybody's athletic.
Yeah.
To really make the next step, you have to be able to process information really fast,
Mhm.
and you got to be able to read defenses, and you got to make quick decisions. And those are the things that, I mean, I think he's going to have a typical rookie season. I look at the schedule and I see about 7 wins, and
Okay.
I think he's going to do well enough to be the quarterback next year,
Mhm.
especially being a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have those moments, but I think the Titans will ultimately lose double-digit games,
Mhm.
and they're in a rebuild. That's what it is, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be one of those like seasons for the Titans where, like you said, yeah, it's going to be double-digit losses, and there's going to be flashes of Cam, but there's going to be that hope where you're like, we just need someone other than Tyler Lockett and Treylon Burks at wide receiver, and maybe an upgrade at running back other than Pollard. You know what I mean? And like, can the line continue to protect our quarterback? Like, it's going to be that glimmer that us Bears fans definitely have had before.
And we've been spoiled too with Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and CJ Stroud the last 2 years. We've seen quarterbacks come in as rookies, take their team to the playoffs, and it's like, oh, okay, they're just a playoff team, you know?
Yeah.
And the process hasn't really been like, okay, step 1, you know, win 7 games. Step 2, try to win double. It's like step 1, these guys all went to the playoffs, and
yeah,
I feel like it set the bar in an unrealistic place because,
I mean, and it started with CJ Stroud too, and then Bo Nix and Jane Daniels just continued the trend. So I totally get what you're saying.
And Cam Ward was a senior too, right? I think he played. He transferred to Miami. I can't remember where he transferred from.
I'll take a look here.
But these quarterbacks that are playing later in college tend to have more success coming into the NFL. So it's just hard for me to see 3 years in a row a quarterback come in and unless you have like, I think Dan Quinn's a certified great coach.
Yeah.
What he did with the Cowboys, and then what he did with Atlanta before, and then what he did last year, like Dan Quinn, he's a good NFL head coach. And then Sean Payton, a good head coach. DeMeco Ryans, everybody knew that DeMeco Ryans was the real deal. Denver offered DeMeco Ryans the job, and he chose the Texans.
Really?
Denver's first pick was DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah.
So that just tells you, like, between DeMeco Ryans, Dan Quinn, and Sean Payton, these quarterbacks, yes, they had a lot of success, but these coaches were also a major part of that success.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we can say that the Titans are going to have that same. I mean, Brian Callahan, is he in that tier of coaching?
There's no way, not yet at least. I mean, it's tough because
Bengals looked good without him last year offensively.
They did, and him going to the Titans, and you know, you are kind of like restricted in terms of talent with Levis, with your offensive line, with the wide receiver. Like, the GM front office has a lot to do with what you have in terms of players and talent. But what you saw last year from Levis and Callahan is this offensive minded guy. You don't like what you see. You don't like, you especially don't like it when you reference him or compare him to your DeMeco Ryans, you know, in that sense. Like, you don't see that, or your Quinns and your offensive coordinator in Washington. What's his name? He was the Cardinals head coach. You know who I'm talking about, though.
Gannon.
No. He used to be the Cardinals head coach. Then he went to Thailand.
Yeah.
I
Now
can't
he's
remember.
the offensive coordinator, Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, yes, Cliff Kingsbury. I always forget. I always don't know how to say his name, but yes. So when you compare him to guys like that, first years, you look at the talent and you're like, well, Callahan was kind of shorthanded on talent, but also look at Jane Daniels and his frame, his size, and look what he was able to accomplish. A lot of people were like, he's going to come into the NFL and get broken in the first couple of weeks, and yet look what Dan Quinn and Kingsbury were able to do. Callahan was not able to do that with Levis, and we all saw that. But now, can he do that with Cam Ward? Like, I think Callahan is going to get 2 years of Cam Ward. And if he can't do anything with him in terms of elevating him to an NFL quarterback, a starter in the league, I think Callahan's more than likely going to be fired.
Yeah.
Now, now going back to your question about Cam Ward's college career, obviously ended with Miami, was at Washington State prior, and then in the FCS realm, Incarnate Word. So that was when he was a freshman. So he went from Incarnate Word to Washington State and then Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think what you're asking of these guys matters too.
Yeah.
And I think for the Titans, the question marks are on the defensive side of the ball mostly.
Yeah.
L'Jarius Sneed can't stay healthy. So
yeah,
you're betting a lot on him. They don't have a legitimate pass rusher, somebody that can actually get after the quarterback. If the Titans are going to be giving up 24 plus points a game, you got to think, even if Cam Ward comes in and has a good year, there's still a scenario where the Titans have the first overall pick next year.
Yeah.
And it's crazy as we kind of shift to our division predictions. Today we're doing the NFC East. 19 of the past 22 seasons, one team has gone from worst in their division to first. 19 of the last 22. And when you hear that, it makes you wonder which division could that be? And you go AFC West, you're like, that's tough. I don't see the Raiders being better than the Chargers, Broncos, or Chiefs. The NFC North, maybe the Bears.
God, I hope so.
The NFC East, which is what we're doing today. The Giants being better than the Cowboys or Eagles, pass. The NFC West, you would have the 49ers finished last. So
they did finish last, huh?
That would be your...
No, the Cardinals did, I'm pretty sure, I thought.
Oh, right. The Cardinals.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Cardinals are a true wild card. And then you got AFC East. The Patriots could shock you, but I mean, I wouldn't be the most surprised if it came from the Patriots just being really good under Mike Vrabel and they make a good jump. But for the last 21 years, no team has repeated NFC East champions. And the last thing I was going to say, AFC South does feel one of the more open divisions for the Titans. I don't think they'll do it, but that's kind of the thing about it is you're not expecting it. Whoever
we were so certain last year.
Yeah. I mean, you got Houston who lost some pieces and they lost Diggs. They lost Laramie Tunsil. They lost, I can't think of anything else they lost, to be honest.
I mean, they probably had some offseason losses too in terms of the defense as well. But
defensively, they should be like with the Broncos, and they're going to be a tough defense.
Yeah, for sure.
And with CJ Stroud, this could be their year to try to win the Super Bowl. And then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, because last year I felt like the Texans could win the Super Bowl. And then last year happened, and then now the Texans aren't on the radar. And it feels like every year the Super Bowl winner wasn't on the radar. Nobody had the Eagles really last year. And the team that almost seems like a guarantee to do it rarely does it, like the Ravens last year. So I think the Texans are a really good team to circle for a Super Bowl.
Oh,
because it's not expected, but it's not surprising. And then you have the NFC, the defending champions, and the Eagles, and you're asking yourself, can they repeat? Let alone like, can they get back to the Super Bowl? Can they win their division for the first time in 21 years, 2 years in a row?
Yep.
That's the question we're asking today. And Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, they're still there. You got coaching wise, the only one that's gone is Kellen Moore as the head coach now for the Saints. I think that's a bigger blow than people are acknowledging, but I don't know if it's like they can't repeat because of it. I don't know if I feel that strongly. I don't know what to make of the Cowboys in their head coach, Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer. Yeah.
Schottenheimer.
That one's going to be weird.
Like the Dak Prescott, is this the beginning of his like decline? How long does he have? Is he a top 7 quarterback when he's playing at an elite level? Because sometimes it seems that way. And Mike McCarthy's gone. They're going to be leaning on him for stability. And I don't know if he has what it takes to hold the entire franchise. And Micah Parsons wants to get paid.
There's so many issues there too.
There is. And then the Commanders all of a sudden look like the team with the least amount of questions, because not only are there no questions, there's only answers. And I hate to say that it's going to be 22 years, but I'll just start this off by saying the Commanders are going to win the NFC East this year.
Oh, shit. I thought we wanted to go with the playoff Super Bowl. Who needs to win it before this?
Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, let's do that before the division predictions, although already Kyle has said who he's got. But you
did it last year. So
that's true. That's true.
A random division winner.
That's true. I just blurt one out. That's Kyle's. Kyle's is going to be the NFC East from here on out. And E-Dub's like, no. So before we get into that, because we do have a poll up, if you have not voted in the poll yet on our YouTube page, please go ahead and do that. We're going to read that. The results of that poll at the end of our division prediction. So it would be awesome if you guys could vote on that before we finish up this stream, and we'll make it a real quick one. But this is basically something Kyle came up with, and it said, Rick, what teams, top 5, this is going to be like a real quick thing, top 5, who needs to win a Super Bowl right now? Also, who needs to win a playoff game right now? Because the team needs it. The fan base needs it. It's just going to be a quick thing, because I was like, man, that's such an interesting question, because a lot of teams come to mind, but really, like, what teams come to mind in terms of like it's a necessity? So Kyle, do you want to start off with playoff games, or do you want to start off with the Super Bowl first?
I think I got there's even a third tier. So I think there's like going to a playoff game, winning a playoff game, winning the Super Bowl, or going to the Super Bowl. We'll put it together. Yeah. I think we could start off with the Super Bowl. Okay. And I think we can both agree on, I'll give you, do you want me to give you like a couple?
Yeah. Do we want to do 5, or do we just want to do a couple and just talk about it?
I'll just throw a couple out there and then see what you got. So the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
They've been too good to not win a Super Bowl for a long time. There's really no excuse. There's been no excuse since they brought in Derrick Henry. They even added Jair Alexander. They drafted another group of young playmakers on top of what was already a Super Bowl roster. Lamar Jackson could have won his 3rd MVP last year. He got him playing at an elite level. Mark Andrews. There's just no reason that this team should be going into the playoffs squeaking out a wild card victory and losing at home again. They
Mhm.
have to find a way to get it done, and that goes for the 49ers as well. And
Yeah.
I know for the 49ers, because they missed the playoffs last year,
Mhm.
people might not have them on this list, but Kyle Shanahan has to prove two things. One, that he can win a freaking Super Bowl,
Yeah.
because he keeps going to Super Bowls and losing. He's, I
Mhm.
think, what, 0-3 in Super Bowls,
Yeah.
including being a coordinator in up 28-3
Yeah.
against the Patriots. And there's just something about him where people think he's a choker, and he has to be able to kind of get past that narrative. And the
Yeah.
second thing is, he decided to pay Brock Purdy instead of letting him walk, and now he has to be able to prove that he was right. Brock
Yep.
Purdy's not just even if he is a system quarterback, it's like, well, that's what you need, a quarterback to run your system. So who
Yep.
cares?
Yep.
But the real question is, without being able to have all this money to pay all these other players, Debo, Greenlaw,
Mhm.
Hufunga, can you just pay Brock Purdy, draft, and go young and still win a bunch of football games? Because that was the bet that the 49ers made when they decided to pay Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, Kyle Shanahan's legacy is now handcuffed to the success or the failures of Brock Purdy.
Yeah, because either way, like the signing of Brock Purdy, I don't know
Need
the
for the Pete.
specific, yeah, the specific details for Brock Purdy's contract. They don't know, but like Kyle said, Kyle Shanahan is tied to this guy's success or failures, and Kyle Shanahan is there throughout the entire Brock Purdy contract is going to depend on how good he's doing in the postseason. Because Kyle Shanahan could get fired before Brock Purdy's contract is up, or Shanahan is going to stay on there throughout that contract because he's able to prove that he can win with that. Kyle and I in last stream talked about how coaches are getting fired because, yes, they're having success in terms of going to the playoffs, in terms of a very good regular season record, but you are seeing coaches now get fired because that's not good enough anymore. Getting to the playoffs, having a solid or just a winning record during the regular season is no longer good enough. We want Super Bowls. We want a head coach who can win Super Bowls. You see that in the NFL. You see that in the NBA more predominantly of these coaches no longer staying on those teams with just regular season success or even just getting into the postseason, but never getting to the championship game. So like Kyle said, Kyle Shanahan is definitely handcuffed to his team. Now, Kyle had mentioned two teams there in terms of needing to win a Super Bowl now. He said the Ravens and the 49ers. Now I'm going to give you guys a few more. For me, they've had plenty of postseason success. They've been to the postseason several times over the last 5-ish years. But the Buffalo Bills need to win a Super Bowl. Josh Allen needs to win a Super Bowl. He's already been paid. He is already the face of that franchise. Josh Allen has shown Buffalo and the NFL what he can do on his own. And he's shown what he can do with a roster where his number one wide receiver is Khalil Shakur. Yes, he had Keon Coleman too, and he, came out and burst onto the scene as well and was very productive for the Bills last season. And they even had a little bit of Amari Cooper. He contributed in a couple games here and there. Obviously, not what you were expecting Amari Cooper to cooperate and not cooperate, but give to the team in terms of like production. But he was still not bad for a couple games. And the Bills needed a veteran wide receiver. So I've got the Bills on needing to win a Super Bowl as well. And then I also had the Ravens and the 49ers. And Kyle, you're going to like this one. And I hate that I'm saying this. But the Packers need to win a Super Bowl under what's his face under
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. They've gone to the postseason. He's done it with Rodgers. He's doing it with Love now. But in order for LaFleur to really kind of just be like, okay, this coach is the guy for the Packers, and I was just saying that about Shanahan too. You can't just go to the playoffs and lose and do that consistently and expect to keep your job in the NFL these days. The Packers need to win a Super Bowl. And I say that just I got to get the disgustingness off my body when I say that. But it's really more for the legacy of LaFleur and at this point in time for Love. Like if Love is going to continue to do what he did his first year when he started, and then he had a down year last year, he needs to keep it up and go to a Super Bowl. So those are my two teams. I'm going Packers and I'm going Bills in terms of needing to win a Super Bowl like this year.
What did I miss? Shooting Olympic swimmers?
I have no idea. Absolutely not. I was just talking about the Bills and just, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna put this comment in here.
That's awesome. Now I don't know. Did I?
Dude, you got those Olympic swimmers in there. You got two boys. They're gonna be Olympians. That's what you're just saying.
Okay. The baby.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So now, Kyle, in terms of who needs to win a playoff game, who do you got?
All right. Oh, and real quick for the Super Bowl, I'm just going to throw in also the Chiefs and the Cowboys.
Okay. Chiefs are interesting. I had joked about that earlier, but I'm kind of interested.
I meant to say the Chiefs, the Lions, and the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. So you've got Ravens, Cowboys, Chiefs, Lions, and then you said, what was the other team we were talking about? 49ers, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll do this really quick. I think the Lions, because I don't know if they can emotionally recover from another NFC championship loss.
I had the Lions on here too. Yeah.
And then for the Cowboys, they have a talented roster, but falling short 30 years is like it's a very demanding fan base. And they always have high expectations and a lot of pressure to deliver a Super Bowl. And the fact that it's been 30 years, they're going to be on this list every year.
Yeah.
And then for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's like Patrick Mahomes is in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
So every single year, whether people like it or not, it's Super Bowl or bust because of the Tom Brady comparison.
I agree.
And now for winning a playoff game, I'm going to start off with the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos
I got them as well.
One of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL last year, and they added 2 Pro Bowlers and who I think will be the defensive rookie of the year in Jerron Barron. Yeah. And I don't know if this defense is going to get a touchdown scored on them this year. Like, this is a ridiculous offense. And then adding Evan Ingram, adding RJ Harvey, Bo Nix taking that second-year jump. Like, this is a very dangerous Broncos team.
Yep.
And I can easily see them winning 12 football games. But if they go into the playoffs and lose in the first round, it's going to sting really, really bad, even though it's a hell of a regular season. At the end of the day, Denver wants to host a playoff game. And if they get 12 wins, I think they'll put themselves in position to be at home for a playoff game. And to lose the first round in the playoffs at home is really it would suck because they're not going to be able to keep this band together. The only reason this is possible is because Bo Nix is on a rookie contract. Now that we've seen how good Bo Nix is capable of playing, we have now entered a rookie quarterback Super Bowl window. And that is the goal. The realistic goal would be to win it next year. But that means this year they win a playoff game and make it to an AFC championship game. If they're just one and done, it was a failure. It was a failure. It was a failure. It just is. It's too talented of a roster.
Yeah. And I had the Broncos for those same reasons as well. Like, you are in that window with Bo Nix where you can add players on the offense and players on the defense on some solid contracts in terms of what they think their value is. And then you're going to have to pay Bo Nix, and then you're going to have to do some maneuvering there. If you're George Payton, right? Like, you're going to have to do some maneuvering. Sean Payton's going to have to do some maneuvering there, but the maneuvering is coming at what is expected to be a franchise quarterback, which when you got it, you don't want to lose them. Right. So I had the Broncos there for the same reason. Now, one other team from the AFC West, I don't think you'll agree, but I think the Chargers also need to win a playoff game.
I agree.
Okay, you agree. For me, it's I hate naming division teams because it makes me sick. But the Chargers as well. The Chargers last year, they went into Houston, and everybody expected them to win. And what happened? Herbert shit the bed. That Texans defense just blew them out. Not the year prior, but I believe the year prior to that in 22, that ridiculous comeback by the Jaguars when Lawrence was playing out of his mind that year. It was just a bad loss, and the Chargers just continue to charger in the playoffs, and they really, really need a playoff win right now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw in another team, and maybe you agree with it, maybe you don't. That's
Vikings.
Okay.
Vikings.
I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, okay. I
feel like Tampa Bay needs. You guys want a dark horse MVP? Baker Mayfield.
Yes,
I could tell Rick got excited because the internet. There he is. I said,
there I am.
You guys want a dark horse MVP, Baker Mayfield, and you were like, yeah.
I'm glad you got my reaction at least. But yes, I totally agree that is definitely a possibility with Baker Mayfield this year.
Yeah, and in that same breath, I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's because of Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence got paid like an elite quarterback, and he needs to go out there and get it done. And by the way, for a Super Bowl, give me the Bengals as well.
Oh, I like that.
Another team that Joe Burrow is playing out of his. I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL. Period. And I feel like the fact that he's like the first quarterback in history to average over 31 points per game and have a losing record. It was like
weird. It's crazy talk.
Joe Burrow could have easily been on a 15-2 team last year. That's how good that offense was.
Yeah.
But they didn't even have a winning record, and that's like it's a shame because at one point they were like 3-6, and then they were 4-9 or something.
Yeah, and they still almost made it.
And then they started winning all their games. No thanks to the defense. They had to win in these crazy shootouts.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Bengals need to capitalize on who I think will be a future Hall of Famer in Joe Burrow. They need to capitalize on him being in his prime. He's been to a Super Bowl, but that feels like a long time ago now. And then my last team is the Pittsburgh Steelers for the playoffs.
Yeah, I had the Steelers as well on the playoffs because similar to what we were talking about, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, like needing to win a Super Bowl to get that kind of like that monkey off their back or whatever. And that predetermined notion that Shanahan just chokes in the Super Bowl. The Steelers are on my list as well because they've been there. And yes, they've been there with very subpar rosters, but they've been there. They've gotten there. They've gotten to that point. And whether it's the front office, whether it's Tomlin, whether it's the depth chart, they just cannot get a win, and they need it because they're staying relevant by going into the playoffs, but that only lasts you so long. And we've seen like a lot of talk around Tomlin. There's going to be his last year. There's going to be his last year. They're going to move on. They need a better this. They can't pick a quarterback, this and that. So I got the Steelers on there as well. I had the Broncos. I actually had the Cowboys in playoff. They need to win a playoff game instead of a Super Bowl. But I could see why you went Super Bowl. And then my last pick is going to be the Dolphins. The Dolphins need a playoff win. They've got all the weapons on offense. Their defense is very lackluster, although there's been times where that defense has been somewhat dominant with other teams. But the McDaniels Tua pairing that first year was like, oh, finally, Miami as a team, right? The Dolphins are actually a team. And then they get to the playoffs, and then they can't play in the cold. And it's like, well, you play in January and February, so you need to be able to win in the cold. And they just can't do that. They've not been able to do that. And if, again, similar to a lot of other things we've been talking about, in order for them to continue, for this pairing to continue, for McDaniels to continue his job, he needs a playoff win. And honestly, one playoff win, I think, extends his career in Miami at least 1 to 2 more seasons with one playoff win. Similar to what's his name? Dan Campbell with the Lions. Like, you saw how much that playoff win meant to Detroit and Lions fans. Like, Dan Campbell is going to NFC Championship games. He's going to the playoffs with the Lions, who were terrible for forever. And he's doing it with Jared Goff, who was a throwaway quarterback. So that buys a lot of time for a head coach. And yes, they no longer have Ben Johnson because we got him. But I still think they have a lot of good structure and stuff there to continue vaulting them into the playoffs.
It'll be exciting to find out how much of the Lions' success was Ben Johnson, how much of it was Dan Campbell, and how the Bears look with Ben Johnson. Like, it's all kind of intertwined.
Yep.
And I think it's exciting. I don't even have a prediction.
Yeah, I'm just
like watching.
It's just good, clean fun. All right. Kyle already said, but let's get into our NFC East predictions. The reason we're getting into the NFC East first is because Eagles won the Super Bowl. You got to start off with the champs. And of course, we all remember the Commanders and the Eagles were in that NFC Championship game. So with the lighter, we got to start off with probably the best division in the NFC, maybe football, although I'm sure
the NFC North.
Yeah. NFC North. I don't mind that one. But let's start off with that. Now, Kyle already gave his prediction, and Kyle is going with the Commanders. The Eagles are not going to repeat, and it goes on for another year, making it 23 years in a row?
I guess 22, because it's at 21.
Oh, it's at 21. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous, but 22 years, and then it'll be the Commanders to break it at 22.
All right, so give me your reasoning for the Commanders, and I'll give you my top team, and then we'll go from there.
All right. You know how everybody says like Bo Nix is old?
Yeah. 25 is old, I guess.
Jaden Daniels is the same age.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, for some reason, no one ever says that he's old. I don't understand that. They're always like, it's like there's like, I think there's like 2 or 3 months apart from
December 2000 is Jaden Daniels. February 2000. Oh no, Bo Nix is almost a full year older.
December
Almost.
2000.
Yeah, and then Bo Nix is February of 2000.
So 10 months.
So 10 months, yeah.
Still,
Almost a full year. Almost a full year.
Even I'll even give you a year. Does
Yeah,
that
and I'm not saying that makes him like ridiculously older. I'm just saying like it's almost a full year, but I know what you're saying. Like that's almost inconsequential when it comes to their
10 months.
careers.
It's like
Yeah.
when you were 10 months old, he was born. No one would be like, dude, you're so much older than him. Like,
dude, he's 10 months. That's like 3 years in NFL.
Apparently. But I feel like what they're calling old, I'm calling experience. And I think Jaden Daniels came in with a ton of experience. His numbers, specifically on third down last year, with a QBR of like 110 on third down on the season, he was better in the clutchest moments. He had multiple touchdown winning drives. He just has the clutch gene, and he was able to take a team that didn't have a ton of offensive talent. I mean, they had some guys, but it's not like they were loaded. And he was able to take them to an NFC Championship game in year one. The Eagles, like that team had been playing together for years. This Commander team is just starting, and straight up, like head coach for head coach, like I'm taking Dan Quinn over Sirianni.
Wow.
And Sirianni even has a Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
But I think the roster is just that talented. I think Vic Fangio is probably the best coordinator in the game defensively. I think Kellen Moore is really good. I think what we've learned is that when Sirianni has the right coordinators and the frickin' GM has built like
a monster team.
I mean, all he has to do is not fuck it up. And credit for him for not fucking it up. But Dan Quinn actually created the success we're seeing. I feel like he got his hands dirty and did it. And for that reason, I just feel like the Commanders are the team this year. They added Deebo Samuel. They added Laramie Tunsil to protect Jaden Daniels on the offensive line. They have really good running backs in Brian Robinson Jr. and also bringing in
Eckler.
Austin Eckler. Is he still under contract this year? Or is he a free agent?
He is still on their depth chart, so I assume he's still going to be on their roster.
And then of course Terry McLaurin has a contract thing going on right now. We'll see what happens with that. But if you got Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel on the same field with Jaden Daniels, they were I think 10-1 when Jaden Daniels had 55 or more rushing yards, which happened often, as you can tell by the record. So he's a dual threat quarterback. Dan Quinn's a defensive guy, so I expect the defense to be better. I think this is going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. I think a 12-win season is their floor, and I think like 13 is their ceiling. I really think.
Oh, wow.
I think they're like almost guaranteed to win 12. If they win 13, that would be their high. I never do this, but I'm putting their ceiling and their floor that close.
Damn, that's crazy. So Kyle's got the Commanders winning the NFC East to start. Now, looking at the Commanders roster, kind of like you said, if I'm being honest, I really like their wide receiver depth a lot more than the Eagles. Now, Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, it's almost like, cool, we're good, right? And then you look at the rest of their guys. Jahan Dotson, he had a really good play in those playoffs, and he did well. But I don't know if I necessarily believe in him being a like the next up-and-coming guy or one of those really high contributors on this team. Johnny Wilson, Terrace Marshall Jr., Anaya Smith, Danny Gray, Elijah Cooks. Those are some no-namers on the Eagles depth chart in terms of wide receiver. Now we go to Commanders. Terry McLaurin, as long as they sign him, which I fully believe they will because it's Terry fucking McLaurin. Deebo Samuel, which they just got. Noah Brown, who showed a lot for being I believe, a rookie. Luke McCaffrey, Michael Gallup, KJ Osborne. That's just some of those guys there. I really like the depth that the Commanders have at wide receiver. And to be fair, I like their depth at running back too with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler. The only thing is I'm taking Saquon all day over both of those guys. And while I believe that having Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler will help you kind of have that balance in terms of the running game and running back Austin Eckler going out for catching passes and stuff, like it'll help. I don't know if I necessarily like them still more because they both are very injury prone, Robinson Jr. and Eckler. We've seen that. But if, all in all, after kind of looking at the rosters and seeing what's happened over the offseason, yes, Kellen Moore is no longer the offensive coordinator for Philly. They promoted the guy who has been the passing game coordinator and has been there since 2021. And while I don't remember his name, he's been there for a while already. He has been to 2 Super Bowls and has helped that offense be what it is. I'm going to go with the Super Bowl champions repeating for the NFC East. Eagles fly, Eagles fly. Call. They're going to win the NFC East. And finally, this division is going to have repeat champion for the first time in 21 years. I'm going Eagles. I'm going Jalen Hurts. I'm going Barkley. I'm going AJ Brown. I'm going Smith, Dallas Goedert, that offensive line, which is just amazing. It has been one of the best offensive lines in recent NFL. So I'm going to go with the Eagles as the NFC East champions in 2025, but the Commanders are in second place. And I think this would be the second time that they finish second in a row. I'm going Eagles for my NFC East champions. The Commanders are second. Again, they have a good roster, but I also do want to say that this comment here by Jinja, where is it? Right here. And they're immediately fucked if he goes down, referring to Jaden Daniels. If we look, and I'm not saying the depth chart in terms of quarterback for the Eagles is any better, but you have Marcus Mariota, Josh Johnson, and Sam Hartman as your backups to Jaden Daniels. Those are your backups. Now, Philly's got Tanner McKee, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Kyle McCord. I'm not saying that's any better, but I don't know. To me, it's just Jalen Hurts has shown that he's consistent, doesn't get hurt, and is a Super Bowl champion. So I'm going Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys third, and Bills, Giants fourth. The Giants are obviously going through a rebuild. And while they do have some very, very interesting depth at quarterback, we're talking Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. I think at the end of the day, Russell Wilson starting, and Jackson Dart might be second option.
Dude, I'm so mad.
The Giants, Tyrone Tracy, and I remember telling Bill this during the season. I was like, you guys have a guy at running back with Tyrone Tracy Jr.
I had my Eagles head.
Did you really?
I can't find it.
Damn.
Well, it was awesome. It's like super realistic.
It's like 3D printed and shit.
I'll pull it out at the right time.
I love it. So guys, if you guys are on our page on YouTube, go to our posts section tab, and I put up a poll who will win the NFC East. Make sure to vote before we end this segment so we can read it off to see what you guys thought about who's going to win the NFC East. But yeah, I've got Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys at third, Giants at fourth. Kyle, you have the Commanders, and then what's the rest of the order here?
All right, so I'm going to go Commanders, Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Cowboys, Giants.
You wanted to go Giants, didn't you?
I think after, everything that you were saying, as crazy as it is, I think I'm going to have to agree.
Oh, we're going
Eagles.
Let's go, baby. Call. So Kyle and I are finally agreeing on something on this podcast. We're going to go Eagles winning the NFC East on a last second change.
I think it's time we start respecting Jalen Hurts.
I agree. And while I think you have done on this podcast, you have actually stood up for Jalen Hurts more than a lot of NFL media on this podcast over the last several years. Even after that really bad year that they lost to Tampa in the wild card 2 seasons ago, I still think you kept true to Jalen Hurts. And I think the media is starting to catch on a little bit now too, because I agree. I feel like Jalen Hurts is disrespected. We were just talking about the quarterback list last week, and he was like 8th or 9th. And you and I were both like, there's no fucking way. There's no way he's there.
Dude. It is like...
This is great.
It is like every single year, Jalen Hurts does amazing. And he's still... I mean, we just did the top 5 quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts was like 9th.
Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
And Jalen Daniels is 5th.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, I think at the end of the day, even though Sirianni, and I meant what I said about the Dan Quinn thing, I think Jalen Hurts is the leader of the team.
100%. 100%.
And I think whenever your quarterback is the leader of your team, Manning, Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, like whenever your quarterback is the leader, the head coach, he's important, but it's not that critical. And I don't know, like, is Jaden Daniels on the leadership level Jalen Hurts is? No, not right now.
I agree. And like you had mentioned Peyton Manning. I mean, you even look at Drew Brees too. You look at Drew Brees and he was like the heart and soul of that team. Sean Payton had a lot to do with that team, but Drew Brees was like the heart and soul. I mean, even now, right? Like, I feel like a Jaden Daniels too, again, not to be like, again, putting him over Jalen Hurts or all these other guys, but whether it's Dan Quinn, whether it's, I don't know, whether it's one of the other candidates that the Commanders had in mind for the head coach, I think with Jaden Daniels as your guy, how cool, calm, and collected he is, which you had mentioned earlier during this segment, it just, the players see that and they're like, that's our guy. And I was listening to the podcast earlier where it was like, Jalen Hurts was sitting talking with a guy, I forget exactly who it was, and they're like, yeah, do you not want to sit with the quarterback? And they're like, nah, man, if the quarterback wants to, sit with you, he's the leader. We're going to give him his space. He's going to do his thing. And then when he wants to come chill with us, that's how we're going to do. And that's not like disrespect in any way. It's more like, that's our leader. And he's doing something like he wants to talk with somebody personally. Like, that is the respect you get for being the type of leader that you are. And Jalen Hurts has shown that he can be that type of person. So I totally agree as Kyle's sipping on Sorry, Eagle Kyle is sipping on a drink right there. So I totally, like the disrespect with Jalen Hurts has to stop. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2. He's been to the playoffs the last 4 years. And this is with a revolving door at offensive coordinator position for them. Dude, they're the shit, man. He's the shit. He needs to stop being disrespected. He needs to be up there with like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Mahomes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I don't know what more he has to do, because he already went toe-to-toe with Mahomes the same way Josh Allen did.
And he played really well.
Like the same way Josh Allen did. And then we put Josh Allen right there. Jalen Hurts did that, and it didn't move the needle for anybody.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't get it. And the list we were just talking about last week proves that did not like move the needle for some people in the media. I just do not understand. Like I can't get into their heads and look at it from their perspective, because I'm looking at it at literal face value and being like, this guy is really, really good. I'm not sure why you have him at the bottom of a top 10 list. He should be in the top 5.
And where do you have the Cowboys and Giants?
We've got the same exact list. We've got Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants. Giants, they're gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen with Russ. I have a feeling he's gonna start. I feel like Jackson Dart at one point is gonna come in and start games for the Giants. And of course, wide receiver Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, like they've got a really good wide receiver room. And I think offensively, they're going to put up some good points. Defensively, I don't think they're there yet, although they have probably still one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. But I just don't think that they're anywhere near the Cowboys. And that's that I got the Cowboys finishing 3rd in the division, possibly even just a wild card.
But Jordan did lose. Everybody forgets that Jordan got beat up by the Pistons, and it wasn't until
early in his career. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people forget about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if we're going to go off like somewhat instant success, you're looking at Mahomes and you're looking at Brady. Those guys won Super Bowls in their first 2-3 years in the league. Brady was his first. You know what I mean? Like that's that instant. And even Joe Burrow, he went to a Super Bowl in his first full season starting. That's impressive as fuck.
This is going to be very unpopular, and I don't care.
I swear to God, if you say LeBron is better than Jordan, I'm going to kill you.
LeBron is no. I always say Jordan's the best player I ever heard of. LeBron's the best player I ever saw. Now,
okay, yeah.
Here's what. That's just my generation. Okay,
bitch.
I get it. all you in your 40s saw it. I didn't. My childhood nostalgia is my Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron James poster right out of high school. Like I've been watching this guy play basketball my entire life. Jordan, I have no memory of him besides him on the Wizards.
The only memory that I have is him winning against Utah in his last championship in 98, I believe it was. So that I have a very limited memory of him playing basketball. But I just he's just so damn good. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And he's got the Chicago thing with you, so I get it.
Yeah. And it's an era thing too. I feel like Jordan's era, he was the best. LeBron's era,
it's fucking Michael Jordan. Come on.
Yeah, he was the best too.
I mean, that's all you gotta say.
Yeah, like Michael Jordan.
But what I was gonna say was, people say okay, these guys that came into the league and won championships right away, Tom Brady, Mahomes. Mahomes is so much better than Tom Brady.
Already, yeah, I think I
feel like The Mahomes that came into the league and threw 50 touchdown passes his first full season as a quarterback, the throws he was making, like diving. Oh my God, he sacked. No, he
in that
isn't.
Super Bowl
He put the ball in his left hand and fucking threw. Like Tom Brady is. I get it, right? GOAT because of the rings, but let's not act like he didn't win those Super Bowls 13-10. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's a different era, but can you imagine putting Mahomes on that Patriot roster?
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
I mean, Tom Brady just didn't he just didn't look like Mahomes his second year. I'm sorry. Like, I saw that whole Super Bowl against Carolina. I saw the whole Super Bowl against the Rams. I saw those games, and I saw Mahomes play, and Mahomes was the only player that I can think of in my lifetime that we saw him play one full season and unanimously agreed that he's going to be the greatest ever.
And he's just a GOAT, yeah.
So I don't know. Like, Tom Brady didn't, and then Tom Brady got better with age.
Yep.
Mahomes just came out the cannon like that.
He came out his dad's balls like that.
He's getting worse.
Which is weird. It's so weird to say that, but in a sense, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes now looks like Tom Brady when he started.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady in his peak, which I called the 2011 season for him, the 50 touchdown passes with Randy Moss, 16-0, 17-0, 18-0, 19-1, 18-1 season. Yeah. That was Mahomes' first season as a Chief.
He was just good off the rip, man. Off the rip.
So we'll see. Like, Mahomes is kind of at a fork in the road, in my opinion, here. Is he going to continue to go down this path? Because it's kind of like 2 years in a row, and you're seeing the off-season stuff. I feel like they've been calling him fat every off-season for like 2 years in a row now.
He's like, it was a bad angle. It was a bad angle. I was like, nah, dude, you got a belly. No big deal. You're a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What's the big deal?
I feel like all the other quarterbacks in the NFL get compared to the worst version of Mahomes.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes gets compared to the best version of himself.
Yep. Could not agree more. Which and when we're going back to the list of like top 5 teams that need to win Super Bowl right now, you had the Chiefs on there, and it really is kind of like, if they want to continue their dominance, if they want to just like keep that going, then yeah, they probably still do need to win a Super Bowl, in these next 2-3 years for Patrick Mahomes to really, really cement himself as the GOAT. But yeah, man, I totally get it. Like Patrick Mahomes just came out the gate fucking just spitting hot fire. So
Allen Iverson was my favorite basketball player of all time, by the way.
Really?
Yes, I had everything. I had the headband, I had the pinky thing, I had the wristband, I had the shoes.
Oh, what, the braids?
I still remember Deuce. His name was Deuce, and he stepped in the back of my shoes. And I went,
so mad.
My Iversons. My Iversons.
My Iversons, you baby. All right, Kyle. I think it's time for the motherfucking. For the motherfucking. Oh!
Chives with Kyle.
I thought we were gonna do something else with Kyle there for a second.
I thought we were too, but then you hit the intro, and I thought, oh, he doesn't want me to do it this time.
You're like, wait, this is only football, not only fans.
I get confused. The letters are so close. All right, for my chives, I got something good.
Let's do it.
I got something good. All right. 60 plus 25 equals 85.
Yep.
Plus 7.
That's correct.
equals 92. 1992.
I was 1.
You were 1. And when you were 1 years old. No, that's not right. Okay, let me just say it. The Steelers are going to be wearing their 1933 throwback uniforms.
Yep.
These are 91 years old. 91 years old.
1991, baby.
No, that's really 1990. 1933 is the real, real thing. But dude, I was just at this antique store and I brought these football books that are going to go in my background.
Yeah.
And it was like, I got a book that was written in like, I think it was 1955. And it was the greatest quarterbacks in history. And it was like all these guys like Y.T. Little, who was a quarterback. He was the best quarterback in the world. But he was also the best punter in the NFL.
Really? Wow.
So, like, it gave him a weird advantage because, like, teams didn't know if they were going to throw it or not because they would punt it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Little.
YT Little?
YT Little.
Little Whitey?
YT Little.
I'm trying to look at these uniforms. They look pretty. They look all right.
YT Little QB history punter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
YT Little? I feel like I've heard the name, but that's also like that was like every name in like the early 1900s was like 2 letters.
Oh, am I thinking of Sammy Bow? Yeah. Sammy Bow. Sammy Bow, I knew him because of old Madden games. You could get like these other quarterbacks. He died at 94 years old in 2008. He was born in 1914. Okay. Sammy Bow was a punter as well. And he played for. Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know they were that old.
I was like, holy shit, my chives are eye-opening.
Dude, my chives are so eye-opening. But I'm reading about all these legendary quarterbacks, and it's like Bart Starr and all these guys.
Yeah.
And I see like the helmets that they're wearing. And I see the packed out stadium. And I just think to myself, like, how we feel about our team is how like those guys felt about them in these leather helmets.
Yeah.
And it's like the referees are wearing the exact same uniform.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to see how this game has evolved over the years, but how the passion from the fans has always been the same. And it makes me wonder, like, was that passion built up or was it just there week 1? Like the first football game ever, were the fans like into it, or did it take years for them to be like, okay, I understand the game. I get the rules now.
Yeah. I think games like that and baseball, those like 2 of the probably oldest sports in US history right now, were like one of those like, oh, let's go watch the game and have a family outing. It was nowhere near what it is today, where we have sports radio, sports podcasts, sports YouTube pages, sports blogs. Like, I don't think the fandom was on the level back then to what it is now, but I do think there was support for guys. And I do think there was like, I almost feel like sports back then were almost like a niche topic where there was like a select few group of people that were like, the fucking Steelers, the Bears, the Packers, the Chiefs, they're the shit, blah, 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 blah. And not really as major in the culture as it is now.
Well, these throwback uniforms that they're wearing, they're going to be bringing them out for the Packers Steelers game.
Yeah.
And I just think that's awesome. I mean, that Aaron Rodgers finally, like, it's the same thing with Brett Favre. Was like when they got rid of Brett Favre, they sent him to the Jets, and then he was like, I can't even play the Packers as a Jet. Yeah. And then they're like, all right, well, we'll send you to the Vikings, and then you can play him. And then he was like, cool, that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
This is just what Aaron Rodgers. There's no denying that this Packers game is his Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, this is the Aaron Rodgers Bowl right here.
And then they're putting on these throwbacks, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm so happy that they decided that was the game they were going to bring him out for. And I want to see if I have, it's going to be week 8.
Yep.
And is that going to be a primetime game?
Let's see. Green Bay Packers, Sunday Night Football. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football. 7:20 p.m. Central Time. Green Bay going to Pittsburgh to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers in their throwbacks. First time being worn since 1933. And I'm going to bring out this, and that's why I wanted this to be my chives, was because I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to make one short a week about an old player that people our age don't know. I'm talking like, not like this is John Elway, because there's like Troy Aikman and John Elway, and
then there's the guys before them,
and then there's like these other guys that are Bart Starr and Sammy Bow, and I want to bring these guys,
I like that,
back to color and just like show. And then I thought of something else where I would do that for a little while, and then after that I'm going to do the most traumatizing loss for each fan base.
Well, I already know the Bears one. It's the fucking either the Super Bowl or the double doink. Like, you already, like, my heart's been broken so many times. I get it.
You say it can't get worse, but it can.
It always does. It always does.
But yeah, I think that would be fun. Do you guys think that would be cool?
I think it'd be awesome. I'm sure. Yeah, because even Ginger's saying Mean Joe Green, Shoeless Joe Jackson, like, these are the guys who, while we do know their names, we don't know a lot about them. You know, we don't really, because stats too were a thing. We're in a thing for a long time, like sacks, pressures, I don't know, interceptions, pass breakups, things like that were not a thing for a very, very long time. So it would be interesting to see, like, to learn more about the guys who started the NFL before it was the NFL we know today. So I think it'd be very, very interesting, especially for history buffs too.
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe is a name I know, but I don't know too much about him.
And Jim Thorpe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the award that the best defensive back in the nation gets, the Jim Thorpe Award. And that's what Barron for the Broncos, he won the Jim Thorpe Award last year. And it was cool. They did this documentary of draft day, and he like worked out in the morning, and then he went and did Pilates, and then went and got a haircut. And then they had this big draft party where like they had this really nice house, and he was just like, this was always my dream. My mom always told me, like, I need to write down it, or it's just a thought. But if you write it down, it's real. And he wrote down, he like went back and got it. And he was like, play for the University of Texas, win the Jim Thorpe Award, be a number one first round draft pick, all of these things. And like, you can just tell, like, the Broncos I'm telling you right now, he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, I like it. Kyle's already with the predictions.
But
NFC East predictions. He's talking about Defensive Rookie of the Year predictions. I love it,
dude. He's going to be on an island with Surtain. Are you pumped for Denver this year?
I'm pumped for Denver. I'm very excited to see what Denver is for the season and how they start the year. More importantly, I think how you guys start the year is going to be very important because while last year it was like a slow start, especially for Bo Nix, it ended off awesome because you guys went to the playoffs. But I think it's even more important this year how the Denver team starts for sure. But I am excited, dude. Yeah, 100%. The Bears need to start off like that, dude. Like they need to start off a quick touchdown and DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. Like it needs to be that for the Bears.
They should have drafted a running back. That's just how I feel. I just think they should have drafted a running back.
They did in the 7th round, which
first round I meant.
Yeah.
I get the tight end thing, but I'm like, was that such a was that a bigger need than being able to? I mean, who is the best running back on the board at that time?
I mean, it was probably after Genty. It was probably the guy from North Carolina
that went to the Chargers.
What's his name? Yeah.
They could have traded back a couple picks, probably got a 2nd round pick additional. Got another tight end if that's what they wanted, but I just think they should have got a bell cow. And I'm not sure that I'm like that. I like Roschon Johnson. Oh, by the way, Roschon Johnson and Barron are like really good friends.
Oh, really?
They're like BFFs.
Oh, that's true because Barron is a Texas
Longhorn. Is that why? Okay. Yeah. And there's just a lot of roots right now with Chicago and the Broncos. So much so that the local Illinois news was like, if you need another team to cheer for, the Broncos are a great option because you guys released a wide receiver that the Broncos picked up. I don't know if it's like A.T. Perry or somebody.
Oh, okay.
And then, Sean Payton was a coach at Eastern Illinois.
Yep.
And then there's like all these weird connections with Roschon Johnson and Barron, and they're just like very intertwined. And I'm like, dude, that's the way it's been since me and Rick started this podcast.
It's been crossover galore.
The Jay Cutler trade, the Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. It's who knew? If fate had it where it was like all these inner trades and things were gonna happen between the Bears and Broncos, and then you and I, a Bear and a Bronco fan, were going to start a podcast and just like have all these like crazy connections to each other in that sense. It's awesome. It
is awesome. I'm gonna send you that video too.
Yeah, definitely send me that video for sure. And real quick, because I did forget to do it after we finished our predictions, I'm going to refresh our poll for who you guys voted will win the NFC East. Now, they all agree with us. Most of them, 60%, are saying the Eagles are going to win the NFC East. So 60% of the votes went to the Eagles. And it was actually, oddly enough, a tie at 20% of the votes between the Commanders and the Giants for who will come in second. And 0% for the Cowboys. Zero faith in the Cowboys from our followers and anybody who saw the poll. So thank you guys for partaking in the poll. We really, really appreciate it. 60% say the Eagles. Kyle, I think we're onto something. I think we're trendsetters.
We'll see.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Jinja, E-Dub in the chat. Everybody else who was here but did not participate in the chat, we see you guys. We appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure to hit that like button on this stream. We would really appreciate it. Subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate that very, very much. It would mean a lot to us if you guys also became a member for $2.99 a month. You get to be a member of the Only Football Fam. You guys get exclusive polls, all that good stuff from us. And just a shout out.
That's what it is. The Broncos drafted Pat Bryant, who went to Illinois.
Yes, that's who it was. Because I remember talking to you about that too. Pat Bryant.
That's what it. Okay, so there's like all these connections this year.
Yeah. It's really cool, dude. It's really cool. Jin just said you couldn't hold a gun to my head and get me to switch my votes. Spoken like a true voting American. That's great. Bill would have liked that one. Yeah, he would have, Ginger. I love it. I love it. So thank you guys, everyone, again for being here. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on X at Only Football Pod, and go follow Kyle at NFL with Kyle, and that's his YouTube name as well, NFL with Kyle. So make sure to subscribe to his channel too. We would really appreciate that. On Twitch, on X, on YouTube, we would really appreciate that. Richard in the chat, baby. Let's go. We got Richard in here. We appreciate, again, everybody who is here. And we love you guys. And Kyle, wait. Before I say that, Bill forever, baby. Bill forever.
Bill forever, baby. Love you guys. 6 more weeks. Football.
Woo! Always a good time, brother. Always a good time.